What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off this upcoming week, there's not a lot in data points coming out from China. States, similar nature, not really that much. You have M1 coming out on Tuesday, but aside from that, it's just going to be more of a technical driven week. Aside from that, companies unveiling the earnings. And of course, big bad Tesla going to be unveiling after hours on Wednesday. Whatever happens to Tesla, typically, good, bad, and the ugly, does trickle down to the other EVs, including the Chinese ones, such as NIO. So that could be one point to really watch for. But aside from that, people's appetite for risk is still on the table. So the fear and greed index is under the extreme greed category. So people's appetite for risk, like I said, is there. So when it comes to NIO, though, it is breaking down on a technical level, and a lot of different factors. Of course, Friday you had a nice, somewhat green day, and that is largely because of the good data that came out from China last week, such as retail sales. I've already talked on all of it, but just in case you missed it, retail sales, industrial production, GDP, unemployment, all absolutely phenomenal. So that really pushed NIO higher. Regrettably, you did have a lot of signs of manipulation. So even this upcoming week, you're going in with roughly 13.1% of the free float being shorted. So anticipate shorts to really continue to beat NIO down. And they're trying to beat it down, I think, more so on a technical level as well. So I'll go over that in a second. But based on this, these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market on Friday. So Friday was more abnormal. So as you can kind of see, typical is between 2 and 4. So a lot more transactions did occur on Friday. And this is why I was bringing up American data, because algos, or algorithmic trading, really is kind of the highest volume player with NIO. So whatever the sentiment is on a broader scale, that is what really is affecting NIO at the same time. So it's just one of those unfortunate scenarios. Of course, with the whole stimulus news and everything at the time, it was getting a lot of attention from large entities. But since then, it kind of just diminished into absolute oblivion. Quickly popping over here, you do have, like I said, the technicals just really breaking down. So I have the ALMA, super trend, 5100 and 200-day moving average. So right now it is kind of resting on that 50 and also 200-day moving average. So very strong support for that. But given the amount of manipulation, that's what shorts, their target is going to be, to really break it down on that level. And right now it kind of has a very similar makeup to this right here that did happen in January 2024 on how NIO was really just getting hit, both from shorts and also from a technical level. So you have stochastic RSI very oversold. So if a good piece of news that does come out, you could see a rush of value investors, but I think the next big catalyst, like I said, isn't coming this week. It will be coming next week. That's when they do disclose their October results. So yeah, I think right now it's just kind of stuck in limbo. You did have a new rating that just came out randomly, and that was $8 DBS, and the analyst has a 50% success rating. So yeah, it is what it is. Analysts see a little bit more upside. So as a consensus, even factoring in a lot of these crappy ones right here, $6.31 is that price target, and that does represent a roughly 21% upside. And while I'm actually on here, on a side note, I'll give you guys an overview of the Elliott Wave technicals. So it does have a pivot point of $5.97. So for as long as it is below that, then it is anticipated more of a further downtrend to hit between that 331 and 375. And this is, like I said, shorts is target. They want to bring it down below these prices, whether that's where they will start to kind of close out some of their shares, or maybe market makers are working alongside shorts just to get a better deal on NIO, because as I've brought up in the past, it just doesn't make sense based on what NIO does actually offer operationally for it to be at these prices. But sometimes my crystal ball is wrong. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think that this price target is realistic? And what's your viewpoint on the recent analyst ratings? But Aside from that, moving on, so just anticipate moral of the story, shorts to be fairly active this week. With NIO closing where it did, you don't really see that much in open interest, so nothing really to write home about. You have roughly 9,000 at that 4 and then 9,000 at that $5 strike price. So no gamma squeeze, nothing like that. For this upcoming week, so the October 25th chain, you don't really see that strong of kind of walls, somewhere around that $7 range and also 6-ish, but still nothing really crazy to really suppress NIO based on that. So I think now shorts are just bringing it down for maybe the fun of it, or like I said, linked to the technicals. And on a side note, whenever you do see these strong kind of in the money walls, this is where market makers and shorts have a financial interest in bringing obviously the stock below these strike prices. So this is how you can kind of tell if there is going to be some heavy resistance or just manipulation. But as of right now, with it at $5.22, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So $5.19 is going to be that next strong support, followed by $5.07, and this pivot point right here of $5.19 was kind of the saving grace. It bounced off of that on Friday, and then $5.31 is going to be that next strong kind of resistance slash target, followed by $5.38 and then $5.50. So $5.50 was also the high on Friday, so it was pretty much hitting both extremes, so the pivot and this R3. So it did show some signs of wanting to break out, but with shorts just really suppressing it, big money not really buying into the hype, it just faded, like I kind of mentioned. So let me know you guys' thoughts on that. The only other thing that really came out from what I can see on social media that I feel is worthwhile to bring up is this right here. So NIO just obviously integrating into the Middle East. I think that is going to be very, very profitable. Middle East has been really investing quite a lot in the infrastructure, so I think that will result in something fairly good. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. So what's your viewpoint? Give me your price predictions in the comments below for this week. Do you guys think it is going to be sub $5, or do you think there's going to be a good catalyst to really propel it higher to maybe back to that 6, 7, 8? What's your guys' thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. 2 things I want to share with you. Take advantage of this promo. It does give you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. And as well, I did launch memberships, a lot of different tiers. If you just want to support the channel, there's a tier for that. Or if you want buy signals on stocks and options, there's also a tier for that. So I highly recommend you guys taking a look at that. With all that said, appreciate all of you guys watching.